Hi, in this video I'll show you about our modular matrix switcher with the multi-function buttons. So here we actually got a 9x9 cage modular matrix switcher. So this is the backside of the matrix switcher. Basically you can see right now we have two HDMI inputs, but we also can support the DVI input, VGA, HBSD, CBS, SDI inputs. All of them can support the audio embedded. Here's the control card. Basically you can see we got the line 1 and line 2. And right now we're using the line 2 and we're connected to this Wi-Fi router here. And we also got two COM ports. These two COM ports, basically we are using the COM port 1, which is we just use this DIY cable connect to the output port. This is the HBSD output. And we can just through the web browser of our matrix switcher, then we're sending the commands through these switcher output ports to any of these once we have it connected. And you can see here we got the wiring is basically it's the cross wiring. It's not the straight wiring. So you can see here we got the pin 2 is 40 TX, so here we need to connect to the RX port, and the pin 3 is 40 RX, then here we need to connect to the TX port. So we need to use the cross wiring, not the straight wiring. So for the output card, also we have 9 outputs. The same, we have the HBSD, VGA, HDMI, CBS, SDI, and all of them can support the 3.5 audio D embedded. Here's the modular power supply, and this is a 9x9 card cage. And you can see here we got 4 Cat5e cable along the way, came up to 220 feet for 1080p resolution. Then goes to the 4 receivers on the side. So for the 4 receivers right now you can see we're using the power over cable. We don't need the extra power adapter to power on them. We just get the power from the HBSD output card on the matrix switcher. So here we got 4 HDMI cable connected to the 4 displays on the side. And here on this receiver we also can see we got a R2 connector. Then we connect to this R2 to RJ45 connector, and then we have this line cable. Basically it's coming down from these 4 displays. Just because these 4 displays can support the R2 control, and we can just send in the R2 commands to turn off or turn on these 4 displays from the receiver. And also we can see we're also using the cross wiring, not the straight wiring. So basically you can see here, and the black one is 40 grand, so we'll have this black one connect to the ground. Then the pin 2, you can see this red one is for the pin 2. Here on this side is going to be the TX, then connect to the receiver side is going to be the RX, and the pin 3, which is for the receiver, so but on the receiver side is going to be connected to the transmitter port. So this is about the wiring. We're using the cross wiring, not the straight wiring. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the multifunction button on the web browser of a matrix switcher control to turn off and turn on the displays. So now here you can see we got the web browser, and which is basically to control our matrix switcher. And because we already have the line connect to this Wi-Fi router from the matrix switcher, so from this laptop we can just use the Wi-Fi connection. So now you can see we already typed the default IP address of the matrix switcher is 192.168.1.80. So we need to log in first, and the username is admin. So we click login. After we log in, then we can do the switching here. This is the input. If you want to switch the input 4 to all the outputs, or we're switching back to the input 3 to all the outputs. Basically, right now you can see it's actually a 2x2 video just because our matrix switcher can support the video function with the HBST or the HDMI output. We can just delay the video all here. You are back to the matrix mode. And now we're going to talk about the multifunction buttons. So for the multifunction buttons, we need to go to the setup. Then we can just scroll down a little bit. Then we can see here we got the multifunction buttons. Total can have 40 multifunction buttons here. And we have the port 1 and port 2 just because on the back of our macro switcher, we got two COM1 and COM2. That's why we have like two options on this setup for the multi-function buttons. Like right now, we're using the COM1, so here we need to select the COM1. Then we can just change the name here, like the authority commands for the display to turn on and turn off, and is this is for the turn off, and this one is for the turn on. Here we need to use the hex commands, and for the commands we don't need to leave the space here. We can just delete the space here. Then once we have those commands filled in, then we need to remember the baud rate. The baud rate is for the displays or for the controlled authority equipment, not for our matrix switcher. So here we need to fill out the baud rate as well. After we fill them, we just click save. Then we back to the switch interface and we'll scroll down a little bit. Then we can see here we already have these two active. So this one is to turn off. If we click this turn off button, let's see what will happen. So you already got the 4 displays turned off. And we click turn on. Yes, we already got the displays powered back. So these 40 multifunction buttons, they also have another function which is to recall like the senders. So like this one is going to recall the sender one, and if we click, we can see here it's showing load 1. Basically, it's actually load the sender 1. This button is also load the sender 2, and this is the 2 senders which we just saved here. And also for this button to turn on button, we're not only turn on the displays but also have the default commands is to recall the senders. So if we just click this one, we can see right. It's loaded another sender, and it's showing here load sender 40. And so this one is about like to set up the multifunction commands on the web browser. Except that one, we also can use an iPad to control the display on and off all the matrix switchings. Just because we already got this matrix switcher connected to the Wi-Fi router, and we can just use the Wi-Fi iPad here. So this iPad, basically we can use the application MCS, or we can use the or we can use like the Google browser like we're using on the laptop. So basically we type the IP address of the matrix switcher here, and we can see without logging, basically you can see all the 40 multifunction buttons. And if you want to turn off the matrix switcher, and we'll just click turn off. See, we already got the displays turned off. If you want to turn it back, then we'll just click turn on. So now we already got the displays powered back. And we also can log in for more options, like to switch in the source here, log in the username and the password both are the same, admin. So after login, we can do the switchings. So this one is about the iPad to control the match switcher and also including to use the multi-function buttons. Okay, thank you so much. Hope this can be helpful.